I'm now in the school library, and our beautiful library is at the center of our school, as is reading, one of the central and most important skills that students have to learn in school. Reading disabilities are one of the most common learning disabilities. And one way to think of reading disabilities is through a label like dyslexia. Dyslexia is one type of severe reading disability. Dyslexics are unable to turn print into sound. Dyslexia is caused by neurological impairment in the cerebellum, resulting in deficits in speech output, receptive language, phonemic awareness, memory, and skill automaticity. Children with dyslexia can experience delays in speaking, difficulties in word pronunciation, be less sensitive to rhyming words, and have expressive language difficulties. Another way to think of reading is as a particular constellation of skills, and a way to think of reading disabilities is deficits in any of these skill areas. So I came up with a table to summarize the kinds of skills that are necessary in reading. And the three areas are sensory output, then the learned reading skills, and what I call process regulators. So first, it's necessary to have some sensory input, auditory and visual. Then there's the learned reading skills of phonemic awareness, phonological awareness, decoding, fluency, and comprehension. And then what I call process regulators, which include memory, attention, automaticity, and processing speed. So something can go wrong in any of these areas. And reading is a very complex process. And Levine sums it up very nicely on page 131, and I will quote from his book. The phonological job of decoding a word is assisted by some visual analysis and visual memory for the appearance of that word. Once a child has analyzed and perhaps even vocalized the phonemes in a word, she can take that collection of sounds and compare it to words she has in her vocabulary, a process known as lexical access. It's as if she is consulting an internal dictionary to see if the decoded word matches some word in her long-term memory. While all these processes are taking place, the student has to hold the various components of the decoding task in active working memory until the whole word is identified. Wouldn't it be a shame if in the process of sounding out the last phoneme in a word, the child forgot the first two? That happens all too often among unsuccessful readers. So a child's word decoding, like so many other learning endeavors, calls for a neurodevelopmental team effort. Reading problems may stem from dysfunctions of phonologic or phonemic awareness, deficient analysis or recognition of visual patterns, active working memory limitations, and or reduced lexical access. The latter might be part of a much broader memory retrieval or language dysfunction.